Hi, boys and girls. Now we're going to do our story problem for the day. Today we're going to be doing a story problem about shopping at the grocery store. This is week 2 of being outside of the classroom, but that doesn't mean that we're going to stop learning. We always are learning even when we're outside of the classroom. So I'm going to read the story first. While I'm reading the story, I really want you to just make a movie in your head. Think about who are the characters and what are the characters doing in this story. So like I always say, to help you make a movie in your head, it's a great idea to close your eyes to really visualize the setting and the characters in your head. All right. So a few 24th Street teachers went to the grocery store to buy enough food for the week. Miss Yakimowicz bought cans of tuna. Miss Kim bought cans of beans. And Miss Rosales bought cans of sweet corn. How many cans of food did they buy altogether? So really think about who are the characters in the story and what are the characters doing. I'm going to give us some think time. Teachers, when you are ready, put a thumb on your chest or up high so that I can see. The question is again, who are the characters and what are the characters doing? I see Miss T's ready, Miss Rosales, and Miss Kim. All right. Does anyone want to volunteer to share? Miss Kim, who are the characters in this story and what are they doing?
Well, I was really excited because I heard my name. So the story had to do with about me, but also about Miss Yakimowicz and Miss Rosales.
Yes.
And I wonder why Miss T couldn't join us for the grocery.
I already have enough food at home.
Oh.
She was well prepared. She didn't need any food this time. So what are the characters doing in this story?
We're going to the grocery store because we need food.
Yeah. So we'll be getting some canned food, right? All right. So now I'm going to put the problem up on the video so that we can all read it together. While we read, actually before we read, we're going to look at the number sets. Notice today we have a number sets that have 3 numbers, right? They're still both either double digit or single digit, but we have 3 numbers. So in the first number set, we have 8, 12, and 5. The second number set, 22, 25, 16. The third number set, 34, 16, 25. And then the last number set, 47, 32, and 55. So does anyone want to pick the number set that we're going to be doing today? Ooh, Miss Rosales, can you pick the number set that we'll be doing today?
I would like the second set, 22, 25, 16.
All right. So, there we go. So I'm going to circle that, and then I'm going to write the numbers here. So, here we go. We have 22 in our first blank. Then we have 25 in our second blank. And then 16 in our last blank. All right, so now, Miss Rosales, can you read the story for us?
Sure. A few 24th Street teachers went to the grocery store to buy enough food for the week. Miss Yakimowicz bought 22 cans of tuna. Miss Kim bought 25 cans of beans. And Miss Rosales bought 16 cans of sweet corn. How many cans of food did they buy all together?
Beautiful. So now I want us to think about what do these numbers mean? So I know we see 3 numbers in our story, but what do they refer to? What do they represent? So I'm going to give us some think time at home, boys and girls. Think about what do these numbers mean in the story? So when you have an idea, put a thumb up or thumb on your chest. So looking at this 22, what does the 22 mean, Miss T?
22 means cans of tuna that Miss Yakimowicz bought.
And what about the 25, Miss Kim?
The number of cans of beans that I bought.
All right. So how many cans of beans did you buy?
I bought 25. I love
Me,
beans.
Miss
Yeah.
And lastly, Ms. Rosales, what does 16 mean?
16 is the amount of cans of sweet corn I ended up buying at the grocery store.
Beautiful. So if we visualize it, we can see Miss Yakimowicz bought 22 cans of tuna. Miss Kim bought 25 cans of beans, and Miss Rosales bought 16 cans of sweet corn. So what is our question? What are we being asked to figure out? Okay, Miss Rosales, what are we being asked to figure out?
The question we are asked to figure out is how many cans of food did they buy altogether?
So how many cans of food did they buy all together? And here we have all together. It's kind of like a keyword that Miss Kim would always tell us in the videos before. All together is our keyword. I'm gonna put it right here. All, hold on one second. Okay, oopsie. Our math vocabulary. And one of our words is all together. And that means putting things together, adding them up, right? So adding. All right, so now what I would like you guys to do is on your own, figure out what strategy you would use. So I'm going to give us some time to work on this, teachers. So what strategy can you use to solve this problem? So we know we have 22 cans of tuna, 25 cans of beans, and 16 cans of corn that our teachers bought at the grocery store. Now, how many cans did they buy all together? Remember, when we use all together, that means we are adding. So in this problem, we'll be adding. When you are all done with your strategy, put a thumb up on your chest or up high so that I know who's ready. Right, I see Miss Kim's ready, Miss T, waiting for one friend. Take your time. And so right here on the bottom, I also put a sentence frame for us. Miss Yakimowicz, Miss Kim, and Miss Rosales bought cans of food. So that's our total, right? And I'm gonna ask for 2 volunteers to show their strategies, just so we can see different strategies, and we'll compare them and see what they did similarly. All right, Miss T, would you like to share yours first?
Yeah. So I used the friendly number strategy because I remember learning in our other number talk videos that Miss Valencia had done this. And so what I did was I knew I was supposed to add them all together. So this is the original equation, 22 plus 25 plus 16. And I really like working with 25 because it reminds me of quarters and making money. So I tried to make 22 into 25 by taking the 3 from the 16 and making it to 25. So 25 plus 25 is 50, and then I was left over with 13 from the 16 that I had, and it's easier to add 5 tens to 13 to make 63.
Beautiful. So what you did first was you made it into an equation, correct? 22 plus 25 plus 16 gave us something. But then you expanded on the 22 and you wanted to make that into a friendlier number. You wanted to add 3 more to make 25. And then you added 25 plus 25, and that gave you 50. And on the 16, you knew that 16, when you take it apart or decompose, right? That's a word that we can use here in our math vocabulary, decompose. That means taking a word apart. You decompose 16 into 3 and 13, and that's where you got the 3 from, and you were left with 13. So 50 plus 13 gave you 63.
Yep.
And that was your answer.
Mhm.
Beautiful job. So that's one strategy. That's friendly number strategy. And I want to see where I can put the 16. Here we go. So I know we have 16, and I'll use the drawing to show how Miss T decomposed the 16. So she made it into 3 and 13. And the 3 over here. And then the 13 we added to 50. There we go.
Thank you for making my thinking so clear.
All right. Do we have another strategy that we want to share, Miss Kim or Miss Rosales?
I did tens and ones. What did you do, Kim?
Oh, I just set it up horizontally and I just did regroup.
Ooh, can we try that one, Miss Kim?
Yeah, so I did regrouping. Oh, it's because of my I'll just explain what I did. So I set up the equation horizontally.
Okay.
So I did 22
22,
and then horizontally 25
25
plus 16.
plus 16. Let me move this so that they're all aligned.
Horizontally.
And I split it, vertically. See,
Oh,
I'm glad that you corrected me because I'm sometimes confused with horizontal.
I do the
I
same.
meant vertical, yes.
So
So,
this is how you did it?
yes, and I divided it into tens and ones. And I know that that in my class, I teach my students to add the ones first.
Oopsie. Hold on one second. Kind of messed that up. I'm going to make this bigger so that we can see it a little bit better. All right. Miss Kim's strategies, try again. So then we had 22,
Yeah.
Oh.
25, and 16. There we go. And then let's see. Oh, no.
Should I just explain?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just explain here. So then what I did was I added 2 and 5 because to me that's easier for me to add first. I know that 5 and 2 make 7. And then I did 7 and 7 in my head. A double makes 14, but I know 6 is 1 less than 7. So 7, 7 makes 14, but 1 less than 7 is 1. So 1 less than 14 is 13. So then I know that all these three numbers add up to 13, but I know that I can only put the ones place. So I put 3, and then I carry the tens up here. And then I know I have to add up all of these numbers, but then I also know my doubles. So I did 2 and 2, which makes 4. Then 4 and 1 makes 5, and 5 and 1 makes 6. So I know 6 tens and 3 ones, 63. And I wrote my sentence.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I am an A+ student.
That is a 4.
And then 5 equals 6. This is a big mess, but
It's okay. I can see the thinking very clearly.
so we had, just like Miss Kim said, she started with 2 and 5. She knows that 2 plus 5 makes 7, and then 7 plus 6 makes 13. And then she carried that 10 to the other side, to this 10 place, right? And then she was left with 3 ones. And then with her doubles, 2 and 2 make 4. And then 4 plus 1 more is 5. And then 5 plus 1 more is 6. So 63. So our answer is, so let's say it as a class or as a group. So we're going to read the sentence together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Miss
Yakimowicz, Miss Kim,
and Miss
Miss
Gonzalez
got
got
63
cans of
of
food.
food.
All right. Boys and girls, remember that this is just one number set and you have 3 other number sets that you can do. Or if you want to do this number set, there are so many other strategies that we can use. We did 2. Miss Kim did the vertical tens and ones strategy, and Miss T, she did friendly numbers. So there are so many other strategies that you can use at home. So challenge yourself to maybe do a different number set or to do a new strategy. Thank you, and we'll see you again in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.